and also gives a commitment to future US commitment to providing the senior military figure for Secure, the leader of the commander of NATO. Does my noble friend agree that we should be looking at actions rather than some of the wild statements coming from the White House?
Then Lord Lancaster reported that he had just been in the U.S., where he discussed the problem of the national security strategy with members of the U.S. Congress.
I was in Washington, D.C. last week with other members of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, and when the national security strategy was discussed with our fellow elected members in the US, their message was clear that NSSs come and go. Sometimes they're implemented and sometimes they don't. But we should judge by what Congress passes. And the National Defence Appropriation Act last week delivered an extra £8 billion to European defence and put a floor of some 76,000 troops, US troops in Europe.
All right. Now, I don't have the names, but what they're basically saying is that members of Congress and the Senate have let the United Kingdom know, just wait Trump out. And when he's out, we'll go back to what we were doing before, which is war and draining the U.S. Treasury on behalf of the globalists.
You hear that? National security strategies come and go. Does that remind you of what we reported last week? How outlets of empire like Chatham House and the Council on Foreign Relations want to outlast the president by bringing his economic and strategic revolution to an end in 2026 or 2028? How they're maintaining their Trojan horses in the Congress and the rest of the political landscape, the rhinos, the never-Trumpers like Mike Pence and the Koch interests? So while too many in the MAGA base are caught up in the fabricated faction fights and secondary issues, or frankly are acting like 5-year-olds demanding headline-grabbing indictments right now, Donald Trump is dismantling a strategic architecture that has been in place since 1945, an architecture that's used the United States as the dumb giant in the British Empire's globalist schemes, and the British know it. But even bigger than Trump's strategic revolution is the economic revolution, because that's what this is really all about. Go back to the end of World War II and the summit in Casablanca, where Franklin Roosevelt said to Winston Churchill, "Winston, we didn't fight that war to reestablish British 18th century methods." And Churchill countered and said, "What do you mean by that?" And FDR said, "A system that takes more out of a country than it puts back in." Well, Roosevelt died before the war ended, and the result was the ultimate triumph of British 18th century methods, or a system which takes more out than it puts in. Look at what has happened to the United States. We used to have a middle and working class based on a robust manufacturing sector and a tradition of family farms. And here's what's happened since the end of World War II. In 1950, 31% of the US population was engaged in manufacturing. Today, it's only 8%. And if you add other goods-producing sectors like agriculture and mining and transportation, we used to have 55%.
This is a really good video. It comes from Stephen Gardner. Let's see. Who? Stop it. Come back. It's gone. What did it do? It's Stephen Gardner. Okay, well, we're going to go to this one then. Oh, wait a minute.
Other goods-producing sectors.
Yeah, so this is this one, Stephen Gardner, who has a Rumble channel. Still don't understand. Okay, I guess my picture's covering up too much. Yeah, so we're just looking at what's going on in the world, and I am learning how to use my OBS. So anyway, Stephen Gardner, that's him. That's him. He's wearing a tie. And let's keep listening. And I'll try and jump in with what I think is going on.
Sectors like agriculture and mining and transportation.
Yeah, so a new system is arriving as the old one is being destroyed. The old ways are no longer in play because Trump has changed. He's using a new playbook. Okay, and she's going to tell us a little bit about that new playbook.
We used to have 55% engaged in productive activity. Today, it is less than 20. Our good paying jobs, our industry, our infrastructure, our family farms, they disappeared along with the middle class. Our economic sovereignty was stripped by British 18th century methods of financialization and free trade. In exchange, we imported everything: food, cheap crap, and our trade deficit exploded.
All right, you hear that? The globalist move was to take more out of a country than you put into it. Think of all of the jobs, the farming, the manufacturing, the telecommunications, internet, all of that went overseas in order to bless other nations while weakening the United States. What is President Trump doing? He's doing just the opposite. He's shutting down the rest of the world and forcing them to bring all of their money and jobs and opportunity back to the country. So he's reversing the take more out of a country than you give, and he's saying give more in the country than you give to the world. This is the America First play that President Trump is doing, and most people are missing it.
In other words, more was taken out than was put back in. Donald Trump is reversing that. That's why tariffs are such a powerful weapon and are so hated by the global.
So terrorists are powerful. And the reason we're getting all this like conflicting information about why is because he's changing the play board, which is the old establishment. Economists say this is how this works, but it only works inside that British control framework. Oh, it's snowing outside. And it's snowing outside. Works inside the British control framework, which is called what? What does she call it? I really like this woman, Prometheus Action. Let's see if we can see. Trump just outmaneuvered everyone after global pressure failed. The anti-Israel crowd says Trump is controlled by Netanyahu. Not true. The anti-Russian crowd says Trump is controlled by Putin. Not true. The UK is constantly undermining Trump, and France and Germany regularly undo US progress in ending the Russian-Ukraine war. But what I think Trump is doing is explained in this video, Prometheus Action, which is this woman here. Trump is wresting power from the EU, UK, and NATO. That's right. And that's a good thing for the world. He doesn't want to be involved in the old guard or get pulled into the new war. Zelensky has lied to Trump over and over again. Listen to this and make sure to check out Promethean Action channel. Okay, we're almost through this. Now, I'm sorry if my voice is not as loud as her. I still have not found my microphone. I've been searching in all the rooms in the condo, and it's impossible to find right now. So, let's go.
Global elites. And they're working. We're rebuilding our manufacturing base and our economic independence. In November alone, ground was broken on
This is an incredible statistic. 136 factories, ground was broken in, the claim, and then processing plants, 78, and warehouses. So this is ground broken on these new things in 2025. So 2026, I mean, and it's fast. They're doing this fast.
136 new factories, 78 processing plants, and 199 new warehouses. But even more important than physical growth is the reawakening of a productive spirit within the population.
Yes, and Americans feeling optimistic about their lives because of the opportunities that the Trump administration is shepherding into their reality.
Think about it. President Trump has gone all over the world. $18 trillion committed to rebuilding manufacturing and
$18 trillion, that's a lot. So Stephen Gardner, up, you can see him up in the top corner up here talking. I have to figure out how to get a bigger picture of him. Yeah. But anyway, that's him there talking. And I'm getting this from his channel. And you can see his channel name down here, Stephen Gardner, and that's on Rumble, I believe. Is it Rumble or is it YouTube? It's YouTube. He's on YouTube. That's very good.
and jobs and production in the United States. He didn't get them to pay down our debt, to renegotiate our 40 trillion in debt. He didn't get them to buy treasury bonds. He got them to invest in business. This is what
So it's about business. They're investing in business. It's not a, I don't know. It's just it's a very solid plan, I believe.
rebuilds the middle class. This is what brings wealth and economic power back to America.
That's right, by rebuilding, so people don't have to feel, so the men of the country don't have to feel useless anymore. That program is dead.
The globalists hate him, and they are saying we will wait him out, but we can't let.
Yeah, you can't wait. There's Trump is not just passive, that he's not passive on this at all. He is very decisive. We just saw what he did in Venezuela, and now he's stabilizing the country. So it's pretty neat what's going on.
Let that happen. We have to continue the MAGA and America First agenda.
And especially among young people. Look at this headline. Look at the response of young people in Blue, Massachusetts to the opportunity of getting vocational training and having a productive job rather than a dead-end liberal arts degree with tons of debt. And
I have a dead-end liberal arts degree. I have 3 dead-end liberal arts degrees. But I have also disability, so maybe that doesn't count. I don't know. I was kind of giving up, maybe because, yeah, I drank a lot of the Kool-Aid. Meaning I don't know. I don't know what that means anymore. But I like learning from America and Americans.
even more important than that is the promise of the future, of going beyond where we were at the end of World War II, before we surrendered to British.
This is great. So they're no longer under the British control. They're doing it, and they're a machine. They're big. America's big.
18th century methods. Trump's Truth Social merger with TAE Technologies.
Okay, she's going to talk about the TEA technologies, which I don't know a lot about. But that's fusion technology. That's energy, cheap energy.
One of the world's leading fusion energy companies signals something revolutionary. Cheap, clean, limitless fusion power will drive
cheap, clean, limitless fusion power.
Our economy into the future and propel mankind into the solar system.
Propel mankind into the solar system. I've been thinking about that. Like, I've been thinking about what is Jesus's plan. And by the look on her face right now, I think Jesus's plan is for us to go to other planets and populate them, terraform them and populate them. It could be that is would and free us here to do that, to go and do those things.
All right. I haven't had time to even share this with you because of all of the Somali.
There he is. There he is. That's a good shot of him, Stephen Gardner. He's going to say how upset he is about the Somali stuff, which is upsetting for sure.
A fraud making me crazy, but Trump's entertainment company did a merger and acquisition with an energy company where they believe that they are going to be able to produce the cheapest energy on planet Earth.
So that may even Venezuela oil thing, you can see that if this is where we're going, fusion. I don't know how this works, and maybe we can do some looking up. In fact, let's look at. We're going to finish listening to him, but I'm also going to do some further research. Fusion energy.
Tons and tons of affordable energy. Nobody wants this. The oil companies, nuclear, nobody wants this. He's bringing it to the United States because President Trump understands that energy is power. It's more important than the dollar and gold. If you don't have energy,
So energy is the most important thing. Energy is the power, and this fusion technology, maybe Jesus is bringing it in for us through Trump.
don't have anything.
That is what will make America truly great and productive again. So, as we stand on the eve of 2026, the 250th anniversary
So we're in 2026 now, the 250th anniversary of the United States. Is that right? I feel like it should be older than that, but okay.
of our independence, we have an unprecedented opportunity. Trump is dismantling the entire post-war imperial system.
So the entire post-war imperial system is being dismantled. And that's why I say like the old system is falling as the new one is being built. It's like a demolition inside the, it's amazing. It's really amazing if you can pull back and get that 40,000 feet view of what's going on.
He's ending perpetual wars. He's rebuilding American manufacturing. He's treating nations as sovereign partners, not pieces
I think this is great too. Nations as sovereign partners.
on a chessboard. But he can't do it alone. 2025 was an incredible year, but the British establishment wants to turn back the clock. They will fight with.
Do they have the power to do that? I mean, aren't the people's eyes open now? Look in Venezuela. Oops. Let's go. Let's finish this.
Everything they have, using their assets in Congress, the media, and the intelligence agencies. They'll create chaos and try and turn Trump supporters against each other. Well, don't fall for it. Keep your eye on the strategic picture. And that's where Promethean action comes in.
All right. I'm going to put a direct link down.
So Promethean action comes in here. This is like a really important thing. So this is sorry. Really good.
Below to Promethean so that you guys can learn more about what they're doing. Did you find this video valuable?
I think it's great. I think you're doing a great job, Stephen. Really good. I really appreciate you and what you've been doing.
Does this help you guys understand some of the thinking that I have? I know we got stuff with Israel. I know we got stuff with NATO, Ukraine, the British Empire. They're all trying to control America. They're all saying, we'll wait Trump out. Trump isn't waiting. He wants to make America great again. And
yeah, you can't wait Trump out. It's just happening. He's just making it happen. So this is great.
Part of that is making sure we have a strong border. Part of that is making sure we have a strong middle class, that there's incredible opportunity, that he gets rid of all of the illegals and all of the fraud. He is doing what no president was willing to do. Barack Obama literally went on an apology tour, apologizing for American excellence. Then before that, Bush Clinton, all of them, they gave away our jobs. They emptied the country to enrich everyone else. And Trump is enriching the country and saying, screw you guys, you can figure it out. So give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I love you. Stay amazing. And I will see you on the next one.
I think that was fantastic. I do. He looks so different in this picture here. I mean, are you sure that's the same guy? Anyway, what do we got here? Tim Waltz is finished. What do we want to look at? We want to look at fusion energy. So I'm gonna open up a tab. Fusion energy. And then I should have the name of that company that Trump Fusion. Okay, let's. I don't like Wikipedia. I don't want to look at Wikipedia. Fusion, General Fusion, bringing fusion energy to market, generalfusion.com. So I could go in this one, or there's also IAEA.org topics, energy fusion, frequently asked questions, energy.gov, science. They're calling it nuclear fusion. What is fusion? So in November 28th, federal government continues investment in fusion sector. This is probably the states. Fusion, there's a Fusion Energy Council of Canada. So there's a lot of research I got to do to know anything about this at all. Fusion energy, the future, so worldscientific.com. IAEA.org, news center / news. Okay, here we go. Helion, building the world's first fusion power plant, apparently. Is there audio? Oh, there's a lady working. Build with us. See job postings. Build the future of clean energy. Joining us, you will push the boundaries of what's possible and transform humanity for the better, because the world can't wait. So this company's called Helion. See job postings. Build reliability engineer. Build the future with us. Helion talent community. Program CMM programmer controls. Director of engineering. Fusion plant infrastructure. These are jobs you can apply for. Is this in Canada? I don't know. I don't think so. I still don't know what fusion energy is. McKinney trailers. Okay. Let's look at worldscience.com. Yes, I'm human. Click the button to verify that I'm human. I'm going to stop soon and go get a cup of tea. The Future of Fusion Energy. So it's a book. 404 pages, January 2019. The author is Jason Parisi, University of Oxford, UK, and Jason Ball, Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, Switzerland. Okay. So you can get the hard cover, the soft cover, or the ebook. So it's saying here that there's a big gap between the state of fusion energy research and public understanding. In an entertaining and engaging narrative, this popular science book gives readers basic tools to understand how fusion works, its potential, and contemporary research problems. Written by two young researchers in the field, The Future of Fusion Energy explains how physical laws and the Earth's energy resources motivate the current fusion program, a program that is approaching a critical point. The world's largest science project and biggest ever fusion reactor, ITER, is nearing completion. Its success could trigger a worldwide race to build a power plant, but failure would delay fusion by decades. To these ends, this book details how ITER results could be used to design an economically competitive power plant, as well as some of the many alternative fusion concepts. Chapters, so they've got a sample chapter, introduction, and the hydrogen-powered civilization. Contents, motivation, the hydrogen-powered civilization, energy in numbers and graphs, the basics, fundamentals of fusion energy, plasma confinement fusion technology, the state of the art, the fast fusion breakthroughs, present ITER, the future designing a tokamak power plant, special topics, alternative approaches to fusion energy, fusion and nuclear proliferation, fusion and space exploration. So that's why they're talking about getting out of here, going into the solar system. When will we have fusion? Conclusions. Readership motivated, lay people with an interest in fusion. I wonder if we can get it at the library. Anyway, also available at Amazon and Kobo. I don't know. I would like to have it, but I don't know how to do that yet. Okay. Let's go back. Pictures of donuts and holes. Let's look at the case for fusion. It says we have a sample chapter. Introduction. The case for fusion. Fusion powers. I'm going to open this up a bit more. Well, one too big. Okay, there we go. Fusion power, universe. Every one of the stars in the sky uses fusion to generate enormous amounts of energy. Why shouldn't we? Since the end of World War II, scientists, engineers, and policymakers have worked to emulate nature and use fusion to solve our energy problems. Nuclear fusion, once industrialized, will tremendously increase the amount of energy available to humans. As the world's needs continue to grow, fusion could provide an invaluable source of low-carbon electricity and, in the long run, would be able to supply the majority of our energy. This book consists of 12 chapters, all of which are intended to be accessible to a reader with no formal physics background. Some parts may be particularly challenging, chapters 3, 4, and 8, but it is our hope that the reader sticks with these demanding areas, as they will ultimately be the most useful. Below, we have sketched a brief summary of our key arguments, both to serve as a reference and a guide for what lies ahead. Fusion is an attractive, sustainable solution to humanity's energy problems. Fusion fuel has the highest energy density of any demonstrated source, meaning it tends to be cheap to gather and transport. Moreover, compared to renewable sources like wind or solar, a fusion power plant would take up minimal area. There are practically limitless fuel reserves for fusion here on Earth and elsewhere in the universe. These reserves are readily available and can be used on demand. For these reasons, fusion will be an invaluable tool in the future, and the first power plant will be seen as a milestone in human history. Fusion is a massively complex problem that requires significant upfront investment. For a society to get to the point where it can build a fusion power plant is non-trivial. It requires the construction of increasingly intricate and expensive experimental devices, an industrial capability to engineer and manufacture complex components, and the political will to sustain a massive long-term research effort. So this political will come with through America. It's going to come through America because this Trump's business abilities are going to make it's already starting. It's already starting. Given current funding levels, we should not count on fusion to be our primary low-carbon electricity source for the 21st century. Without a large increase in research and development, fusion will not be a panacea for tackling the problems of climate change. We don't have to worry about climate change, honestly. The Lord's looking after all of that. The Lord Jesus, he knows what needs to be done and he's doing it. And he's getting, I guess, I mean, I don't know the plan. Obviously, I don't know the plan, but I know I trust Jesus and he's going to walk us through it. I believe if that's his will. So anyway. I haven't read all, let's see how many more pages. Looks like there's 4 pages. Yeah, let's get through these 4 pages. And then we'll end this stream. Yeah, we're all streaming. I thought for a minute we weren't. Introduction. The case for fusion. Fusion powers the universe. That's an interesting little. So I could just put that in my X account. I'll log into X. Will this show my? Yeah. Here we go. So we haven't built it yet. We haven't built it yet. It has to be built still. In this window. I want to write something. Here we go. It's interesting. Now what? Okay, so we're gonna switch off of this fusion topic, or should I stick with it, Lord? Anyway, I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna have a look at what's going on. Maybe order that book.